Hey, this is Dr. Drew Rubin. Welcome to another episode of ChiroSecure's Disruptive Pediatrics. Today, I'm going to talk to you about something that I think you're really going to like, and it's called separate and distinct. How did chiropractic get this concept of being separate and distinct? I kind of discovered this a couple of weeks ago. I should say rediscovered the reason why, and I've gotten very passionate about this, and I've done crazy amounts of research in the last few weeks to make this happen for you guys. And I know it's not exactly a pediatric topic, but it is, because obviously and you'll see shortly, once you understand the ramifications of this case, this shows how chiropractic really was put on the map back in 1907. So if we can go to the PowerPoints, please. Thank you. And the way that I got involved with this is years ago. I have been a green book collector, and for those of you who don't know what green books are, that's like the chiropractic textbooks. So I've been collecting chiropractic textbooks for years, ever since I graduated in '89. That, by the way, is a 1920 chiropractic table. It's a high-low table before they had electricity, so there was a spring-loaded thing you have to like change. It says heavy, light, medium on it, and then it would lift the person up without electricity. So this is some really cool stuff. And I have almost every green book except for Modernized Chiropractic. I don't have that one. Anybody who has that one wants to sell it, let me know. But anyway, so how did the concept of chiropractic is separate and distinct occur? This is unbelievable. So this is B.J. Palmer. That's his wife Mabel on the left. D.D. Palmer, the chiropractic's birth father, there on the right, and then little David Palmer on D.D. Palmer's lap is one of the rare pictures of the family right there. But how many guys remember this or heard this? And if you're Life University, you know this is like put front and center. We have the bell tower that honors these over 600 chiropractors that were jailed in the early 1900s. And one particular chiropractor was jailed in La Crosse, Wisconsin. And B.J. Palmer hired this amazing legal team and created something called the Universal Chiropractic Association to defend Shigetaro Morikubo. He was the Palmer class of 1901. And what they decided in their case, because he was jailed for practicing medicine without a license, as were all the chiropractors back then. That's why they were put in jail. They weren't put in jail for any other reason, but practicing medicine without a license. And they kept on losing every one of these cases because they couldn't prove it. But then finally, the legal team that B.J. Palmer put together with this particular doctor, Morikubo, made a just giant difference. But here's the thing, is that the records of the case are lost. Unfortunately, in La Crosse, Wisconsin, they have no records of these cases. But there have been a number of things that have kind of talked about it, and that's what I'm going to talk to you about. So what happened in this case is that BJ and this legal team came up with this concept of separate and distinct. It was written about in Green Book Volume 17 in 1924 by Arthur Holmes, one of the lawyers. And what it is was this. The question now comes, why is it necessary to prove chiropractic is separate, distinct, and a different school of system of medicine and malpractice case? Because when chiropractic has been established as a school separate from allopaths, homeopaths, osteopaths, then the chiropractor's actions are judged according to the standards of the chiropractic school and system and not according to the allopathic school. The learning and skill required is then learning and skill of an ordinary chiropractor, not of the physician and surgeon. This is how we won that particular case in 1907. And continue from that particular green book. Chiropractic is now a science unto itself. It is separate and distinct from allopathic medicine and osteopathy or any other form or system of healing. So this is so important to understand, because this is how we changed. Because we were sort of the underdogs. We were the little guys, right? Before this, we were getting jailed and people were getting really up in arms about this. But then B.J. Palmer came up with this concept with his legal team to defend Morikubo and said, no, we are not like them. We are not allopathic. We are not osteopathic. We are something completely different. And what did they do is they used different things. Now, this hadn't been written yet, the chiropractic textbook, but I love this coming out of the chiropractic textbook that Stevenson wrote in 1927. And this was testimony that was actually used. You'll see from in the 1906 book the first volume 1906 book, they actually use this in the testimony of the case. And from Osteopathy Illustrated, I am acquainted with the science of chiropractic as taught by D.D. Palmer of Davenport, Iowa. This is a Dr. A.P. Davis, who is a medical doctor. And because he took chiropractic course of instruction with Dr. Palmer, and being perfectly familiar therewith, I would state that the said two sciences above, in other words, chiropractic and osteopathy, are as distinct from each other as regards application as day is from night. They either can be practiced without the other or the knowledge of its existence, and therefore they are entirely different sciences, applied differently, and are no way related to each other, and are independently and absolutely different. This comes from volume 1, The Science of Chiropractic. You see that on the top it says Science of Chiropractic. Volume 1, Science of Chiropractic by B.J. and D.D. Palmer. But then in Stevenson's textbook, obviously in 1927, it was written years after this. Though chiropractic is young comparatively, is nonetheless a well-developed science with proven facts and plausible theories based upon those facts and precise art, all of them systematized knowledge and a distinct field of investigation or object of study. So this changed it. This changed chiropractic from being an underdog to being a contender, to being someone to be reckoned with. And from that point on, chiropractic took on a new meaning. From that 1907 case, chiropractic took on a new meaning. So they used the textbook, one of the original textbooks from the Palmer Chiropractic College that BJ and DD had written together. They used that original Science of Chiropractic textbook. And because of that, they were able to win that case. And from that point on, the amount of chiropractors being jailed got significantly less because they kept on using this as their defense. Chiropractic is not osteopathy. Chiropractic is not allopathic medicine. Chiropractic is its own thing, separate and distinct. And because of that, we were able to then as time morphed on, BJ started developing more things, different things. And then that's when pediatric chiropractic started coming about. Pediatric chiropractic really blossomed with Dr. Larry Webster, who formed the ICPA. And that's how everything changed. So we have a lot of thankfulness for what happened back in 1907 in this particular case, because this is what changed everything. And as illustrated with Stevenson's textbook, this is what made us a distinct field of investigation or study. As you guys know, I speak for the ICPA. I have online classes for them and live virtual classes. So we're coming up, I think, in Atlanta and Dallas actually pretty soon. And in Atlanta this year, we'll be speaking both combination of live lectures and online. So you can be there in either way, however you decide to choose. I spoke for Dr. Stephen Porges, the Polyvagal Informed Pediatric Chiropractic Seminar. If you're interested, there's the link. I've just posted today my 550th episode of ChiroCast about what I just talked about. Just another version about this particular topic. So if you're interested in that, please check it out. Let me know what you think. Overall, what we have to do, guys, is protect our future. Separate and distinct case is what got us on the map. It changed the way chiropractic is. It changed how chiropractic was looked at by modern medicine back at that time. And it helped us survive, like the Flexner Report, which came out around 1910. It helped us survive that Flexner Report, which was really chopping down a lot of the other kind of things like homeopathy, etc., and naturopathy. But we were able to survive because we had created this amazing thought process because of the philosophy that we had. Right? Our philosophy was separate and distinct. We just had to prove it. And that 1907 case did it. So thank you guys. Thanks again, ChiroSecure, for hosting this. I hope you guys really appreciated this interesting history lesson. And I will see you next time.
Today's pediatric show, Look to the Children, was brought to you by ChiroSecure.